Oh, I hit 80 episodes, and this is literally the greatest episode I've ever recorded, period. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Reflections 80. Holy hell. I respect so much that I actually just keep doing these, especially because I'm having a lot of doubt if I should continue doing these, but I'm going to continue on anyways. The date is May 3rd, 2020. Did I really just say that? 2020. And my name is Josh Moxey, and I like to capture as best I can my journey. Reflections is a bi-weekly series at this point where I share what I'm going through. I talk about things that I am learning. I share experiments that I'm conducting, how they're going, what I'm working on, how I'm growing, all types of stuff like this, in hopes that, number one, I can document my journey to a very high degree. And then number two, I hope that you take these things and run with them and apply them in your own life if it feels right. So, hope this episode comes out fucking sick. And equally, who fucking cares? Because it doesn't actually matter. But I am pleased. So I have so many things I want to talk about right now. So let's just get right into it. What were my favorite wins? 15 weeks of vlogging straight. Holy hell. I am so proud that I actually have done this, and I continue to get better in all aspects, whether it's recording or like editing, all of it. I'm so far behind in editing right now, but the recording part of it, I'm especially proud of. By far my favorite part right now. Developed a lot of tools, like things to make my systems to make my processes easier, if that makes sense. So things like a timestamping tool where I can insert friendly rows. It was already previously done in the last weeks or 2 weeks ago, if you will, in Reflections 79, if you will. But I decided to change some things so it's super friendly to use now. I also developed a sorting tool for Notion, which is amazing because I was struggling with the idea of sorting things effectively with just dragging and dropping. It was getting overwhelming, so I created the tool to do that, and holy hell, it's gone so well. You can see that in my vlog. Did things like learn the basics of FFmpeg so I can compress files for backup purposes within my content much easier. I moved everything to basically Google Drive right now for my content for backup to save my life on desktop. Also created this jotter thing for Notion. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, man, just a lot of progress on the process stuff. Feels good. Also trying to improve on my sorting and applying what the fuck I'm actually creating. Because it's one thing to create a system. It is a completely another thing to apply the system that you made. So doing my best to follow through with that. Also, a lot of progress on music fronts. I have probably 170 doubles at this point. I hit 150 last week. I have so many songs that I've downloaded. I think I downloaded 200 songs this week, and I have finished queuing. At one point I hit every song in my library has been queued. It was at 330 at the time. And yeah, also music content as well. Actually, wait, before I even go there, started working on a big room throwback set with my boy Tony, aka Breeze. And also started working on a collab with Azel for rhythm reactions, which is going to be hilarious. Research possible mixers. I might get a mixer because I just want to fucking make doubles and mixes and all this shit. I wish I had 4. Life goes on though, and I mean 4 channels. I found a shit ton of good doubles. It's actually very impressive what I'm coming up with so far. Went through my first time doing a mix, by the way. That was interesting. I fucking took huge L's and I wasn't very good at it, but it was just cool to get in the game with that. I got my tax return, which saved my fucking life right now. Organized some playlists for Beauty and the Bass, reordered things, edited some things, recorded a lot as usual, but even recorded less, which I found interesting. I've worked on things like doing things that I've been putting off, like Bitwarden, setting that up on iOS and Google Chrome, which is an alternative to 1Password, except it's free and is gangster as fuck. Worked on my sleep schedule this week, so I got earlier. Now I have 9 a.m. for the past 3 of 5 days, today being one of them. It just feels so good to wake up early. Holy fuck. What else? Oh, worked on my typing. My God, I'm trying to teach myself the fundamentals again of typing because I've been 2-finger typing for the last like 10 years or whatever. So now I'm actually like going and retraining myself bit by bit to use all my fingers, and because I maxed out at like 75 words per minute and I want to go way fucking higher than that. Recorded some cool things like going to see my dad and like going to help out Cole with his moving. Just things that were just a little bit strange in terms of vlogging aspects, but just released me a lot in terms of like what I was able to, in my mind, record. And probably the biggest W I had in the past 2 weeks was sitting down and brainstorming / journaling on how I could output a vlog, like a weekly vlog, in under a day. And holy shit, the data that I got from that brainstorm was phenomenal. It's basically at that point a mastermind of like that concept and just tapping into that possibility. And when you can step into that, you're able to access data you just didn't realize before. And like the stuff that I found within that exercise was bananas. And you can check that in vlog 15. Yeah, the process 15. It'll be at the beginning of that. And holy shit, that was crazy good. Also recorded Beauty and the Bass, the debut intro, the debut video of that, even though I have literally 34 fucking playlists up until then. And then also recorded a video of like live reactions to Bad Clot's song and others, and I found that pretty interesting. Oh, also website discovery process started, aka I'm launching another website for myself for personal branding and to make sure that I can still do all this shit and get paid to a degree as well. That's part of it. There's a lot of things that go into it, but monetization is definitely a big part of it. And you'll see how that goes in time. Okay, sweet. What worked? Consuming types of content that are going to give me permission and expand my possibility, if you will. Meaning, it doesn't even need to be like motivational content or inspirational content. It's just like the sheer act of them putting out things a certain way triggers a thought in me like, they're doing it that way. That means I could do it that way as well, if I choose. And then it like spurs other ideas, and like, then I just get off to the fucking races. Specifically, I'm thinking of David Dobrik's vlogs. I tried that for the first time. Holy fuck. I'm so impressed by how the hell he does things. And also Tea with Gary Vee. Like David Dobrik, I was like, wow, you can compress everything to so short. And then the complete opposite with Gary. It's totally okay to have like crazy long and raw content. Amazing, 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 amazing. Doing mixing tasks at night. When you're like half asleep and you don't have the fucking energy, it's so nice having a productive outlet like mixing for me, and like everything that goes into DJing / like music type of content, because I'm too fucking tired to do most things. So having an outlet for me to channel and keep productive even in the wee hours of the night is very useful for me. And I'm talking about things like cueing and testing out doubles and like even just mixing for fun. Like it's just useful. Another great example of a nightly task is absolutely like learning and just consuming some sort of, whether that's like a video interview or like a tutorial. You can just, when you're dead as fuck, these are important. It's really nice just having a list of things that you can work on that don't require a ton of mental energy, but are still going to progress you forward and make use of that time. Keys. Okay. Keeping a database of all my best doubles. I'm just doing such a good job of keeping track, and that in addition to that, like ideas, like keeping all the ideas, whether that's like music or content or just in general ideas like business. I'm doing such a good job of capturing it all right now. I'm very pleased with it. And just, it's so useful to have these types of ideas, these types of experiments written down and quantified and measured, because like, what are we trying to do here? Just operate all in the brain? That's just too much fucking wasted power. Let's get it out on the page and track that shit. Before I upload to Google Photos, actually taking the time to correct things and like delete really shitty duplicates and fix aspect ratios and all that jazz. If I'm gonna upload it again at some point, why not just do it now the first time and like fix things at the end of my day? So simple. Getting started without overthinking. Specifically Beauty and the Bass 34, and actually the live reaction thing as well. In addition to that, it was just like, I wasn't overthinking things at all. I just like threw myself at the desk, threw myself at the camera, and just had fun with it and got started. It doesn't need to be this crazy thing. And when I start to make it this crazy thing, then I just don't do it, which is like a prime example of why I have failed historically with entrepreneurship, because I just over fucking think everything instead of putting one foot in front of the other. It's really that simple. Asking my mom for help energetically. I was not having a good time these like past 3 days, 4 days, something like that, up until yesterday. Like I went through things like a headache. I was just like not myself, feeling like very drained, not energetically aligned with my goals whatsoever. Didn't have much motivation. Was still getting some stuff done, but just not to the level I should have been getting things done. So asking mom for help was just paramount, because we worked on one session and like, Jesus, I feel like a completely different person than I did 2 days ago. It's bananas. Like I'm so fucking different energetically, and I'm feeling great right now. I'm having a fucking ball, honestly. I'm not even sure exactly why, other than just that one those sessions. Actually, wait. Yeah, it was like a re-receiving of the same session, but holy fuck, it was absolute gold. Anytime I drink water now, I just think of Basil, and he's like, let's go, every time I fucking drink water from that huge fucking jug. Absolutely kills me. The best is like, I actually just choke after because I'm laughing so hard and I can't properly swallow the water. I fucking love that, dude. Okay. And the point of why I'm saying this is like, it's when you're too in it, sometimes it's hard to work on yourself. It's like not the most ideal thing. So if you have someone that can work on you, in my case, my mom, and vice versa, I can work on her, she can work on me. And it's just so useful when I can't. And that was what was happening. I was like, my beliefs weren't great around the thing, and I wasn't integrating properly. There's a lot of stuff that was going on. But anyways, she helped me so fucking much, and I feel so different ever since. So thank you, Mom. I really appreciate that. Pomodoro timer, and resuming that, they just released an extension, or not an extension, a feature within Momentum, which is a Chrome extension, and like, I need to reincorporate Pomodoro into my life. So yeah, I enjoy that timer because it's like, just works so fucking well. Being compassionate, even when there's like extreme negativity my way. I found that I was taking some heat for something, and like some dark shit was said to me, but I was maintaining compassion the whole time, trying to see them as not just them, but just looking past that to see like them as greater than a mistake, if you will. Seeing them as their soul, or like just a practical example, if you don't believe in souls, is just like seeing them as their potential, like in life, and not their mishaps or errors. So it's key. Nice voice crack, by the way. Closing down conversations when I feel they're not going anywhere and they aren't productive. Key as fuck. Going fast, but also going slow. I found myself like, I was like trying to type with all my fingers today when I was reflecting, and like, God, it took a long ass time, but it was worth it. And it also showed me I could like, how do I describe this? I found myself, because I was going slower, I was actually outputting at a higher rate for some reason, and I was getting more clarity because I was like, fuck, I don't need to like write down every little thing. I can just write down the essentials here because I don't want to fucking type at that much. So anyways, why was I saying this about going slow again? There's a reason. I'll come back to it in a second. Yes, because I am going slower in my typing, I don't need to like run at the wall of a reflection or whatever. It's just better to just flow rather than throw myself at walls, which I've been known to do in the past. And then I burn myself out. It's just silly. Like, why? I don't know. Giving my friend direct truth when I felt he needed it. For me, a good friend is someone who is honest and doesn't need to hold back even if someone's sensitive about something. And like, I expect my friends to do that to me, and I expect me to do that to my friends as well. For me, that is my definition of what a good friend is. It might not be for everyone, and yes, it does fucking suck in that moment for me as well as them, because I don't love hurting people's feelings. It fucking blows, actually. And they're fucking obviously going through their own shit as well. So like that sucks. And at the same time, that's where growth occurs. Like if something's triggering you, you have an opportunity to work on it. That's the exact same thing that I feel in myself. Anytime someone's triggering me, I'm like, oh shit, I have an opportunity to work on this now and delete the pattern, if you will, or rather transform the pattern and evolve it, if you will. So yeah. Going to bed earlier feels so fucking nice. Keeping this simple. This reflection is going incredible so far. I feel great. I don't need to fucking expand on everything. It's just like, the right people get it. Sleeping naked. Oh my god. This feels so much better. I was doing like pajamas for a bit there with like top and bottom. But right now I just added an extra blanket and then just stripped down naked. And I feel like I'm being hugged by like a blanket all night. A+. Working on things I've been putting off. Holy hell. This feels so good to just hack a little bit every day at like random little tasks, like training myself to type, learning Bitwarden, learning like the Sam Colder transition, which by the way is simple as shit. I like basically came up with 90% of it in my mind. I love when I can do that. Also things like progressing on the sorting of Notion within my like sorter now tool, which that thing works so fucking well, I can't. So let's just throw that as its own point as well. The sorter is like set up in a way where I can see the main pages from each project I have. So I've got Moxey Energetics, which by the way, I fucking do nothing for right now. So there's that. Just slander myself on camera. Content and Notion as well, and then personal. Those are the 4. And then I have like the main pages set up and just like dragging it and having like custom views of how it's set up, as well as seeing like the card and to see like what's within the body, allows me to just like dictate everything so much fucking easier. I'm so pleased right now. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Waiting to not go on social media until like 10 p.m. Game changing. I'm just spending too much fucking time on my phone right now, and I've just loved how good this feels. In addition, pairing this with fasting, waiting way longer in the day to break my fast as well, feels very, very nice. Working on the foundations within my typing through typing.com. A+ tool, highly recommend. What I like about it is it's not throwing you right in the deep end. It focuses a lot on like the basics, because if your basics are weak, your advanced skills will be nothing as well. You can only build as high up as your foundation is deep, so you need to fucking focus on the fundamentals. For me, my fundamentals are weak as shit, and that's why I've not been able to type with all my fingers, but instead just 2. So I'm refreshing everything right from the fucking A + B = C type of shit. It's very, very simple, but it needs to be refreshed, and it needs to be absolutely properly trained and mastered. Ring light, this thing is beautiful. I love it. I'm still experimenting with what the best lighting is for me. I'm experimenting with the super white one right now, and we'll see how that comes out. Biking, that worked well. Felt good. Puts me in a really like high state, honestly. I'm fucking sober, but I just feel like high as shit after a bike ride. It's beautiful. All the natural chemicals, plus a little bit of dubstep and caffeine. A+. Giving people a possible option to continue a conversation in a certain way, rather than filling it in for them. I was just using this as a flirting technique, and like I'm generally leading them into where I wanted the conversation to go in theory, where I could go in a good way, but I'm letting them like do the heavy lifting sometimes, which is cool, because like I can't be the only one directing the conversation, if you will. I'll give them seeds, but they have to fucking run with the seed. That didn't make any fucking sense, that analogy. That's okay. Who fucking runs with seeds? What the fuck? This is by far my favorite reflection so far. I'm loving life right now. Giving my laptop time to breathe. I don't know why I said laptop like that, but it is what it is. I let my laptop get so fucking hot. It's XPS 15, and this thing is like known for its overheating. So at night, I make sure to just chill it out, or if I'm taking a big ass break to go get food, I just like unplug it, put it in hibernate mode, and just let it relax for a second. Because I don't want to absolutely kill this. I'm trying to make this laptop last a long fucking time. giving myself permission to not vlog if I literally just don't feel like doing it. Like the past 2 or 3 days, something like that, I've barely vlogged. It's been very quick, very succinct to the point, a little bit of summaries, and like that was it. I'm so down with that. Like I just don't feel like vlogging intensely right now, and like that is 1,000% okay. I don't need to record everything. I am very like free around this right now. It feels so nice. It's also cringe as fuck because I'm looking at my past videos and I'm like, holy shit, the stuff I say is just so not necessary. It's insane. Mind dumping almost daily just to try to get all the shit out of my brain. Feels good. Feels very freeing. What didn't work and how can I improve it? 2-finger typing, over it. Put that 2 weeks ago and now I am working on that. So good shit, Josh. I like when I see these types of things. Okay, next. Overthinking entrepreneurship. Huge. I just overthink it, put it way too much on a pedestal, but reality is it's literally as simple as focusing on number 1, starting, and then number 2, putting one foot in front of the other. It's literally that simple. Any fucking area of life. Okay, I don't know if entrepreneurship is going to be my like greatest strength or whatever, but it's just stupid things like spending too much time worrying and like second guessing myself and trying to have the whole thing planned out ahead of time, fearing imperfection, not trying to let people down. This is a big one, by the way. I literally say this and realize it at the same fucking time, so that's interesting. But yes, I literally just need to simplify everything if I want this to work, and we'll see how it goes. Like, worst comes to worst, I learn some fucking skills, I get practice, and then I move on to something that would be more of a strength if it isn't. And that's totally fine if it isn't. I'll figure out some sort of way. Powerless set up a little bit too generally. I want to specify things more because when I leave it too loose in general, in my definition of tasks, it's hard to be as motivated and it's hard to be as fired up to be like, yeah, let's fucking dominate and finish this. So there's some reworking to be done there for sure. Additionally, also setting up the tasks so they reflect my goals and my projects in those current moment, or in that current moment, so it's like a true like reverse engineering going on. Oh, fuck yeah. No music in morning with meditation, aka ambience. The beautiful like or whatever your meditation music sounds like. Mine sounds a little bit like that. But I find that when I play that, it triggers an anchor for me of calm. So even today, I didn't have like the greatest meditation of all time, but I did play that from Oak Meditation, that sound, and I felt so much more at peace, even though I completely fell back asleep and it felt like a 2-minute meditation, but it was actually 30. That type of shit. Being too attached to no disapproval and no rejection. It's stupid as fuck. I need to consciously place myself in more situations where I can get more exposure to rejection, and like then I'll be numb to it, if you will, and not give a fuck about it because it's silly. Like I just noticed myself having a lot of fear of rejection and judgment, all that shit, in regards to business for sure, and girls and sales. Those are like kind of like the 3 big things, but business and sales are kind of one in the themselves, if you will. But holy fuck, it's an important thing to tackle, because if I can tackle that, that's just like another huge piece in the right direction for my evolution. Vlogging bike rides, so hard. Just get your fucking 1, 2, 3 clips and then just be present. Like, it's just too much fucking work to try to bike with a camera, if you will. I mean, it's my phone, but still, it's just stupid. The whole point is to chill, not to make myself do extra work. Taking on judgment too much and letting it just negatively affect me, and things like controversial POVs, and when I voice them, I don't know, even if it doesn't exist, I start to pretend there's like judgment and imagine what people are thinking, and it's dangerous as fuck. Actionable, I don't even know, honestly. I don't even know, but it's important to focus on. Ooh, speaking of which, next point, saying honestly. It's so silly. I don't actually mean honestly. What I mean is I'm trying to be like more frank and blunt and direct. So I have to start saying that instead of honestly, because my goal is always honesty. And then, yeah, I just don't want to fucking offend people or whatever the case may be. It's usually used in that sense. So change my fucking wording. Typing 2 fingers for speed in tight times, silly. Just break it off and focus only on all finger typing. In the same way that when I was learning to write cursive again, I had to cut off my ability to write print. Important. Being really hard on myself. I was really struggling with this the past little bit. It's not serving me, and instead just crumbles me. So I think it's just important to be gentle, like just gentle enough, and apply pressure at the same time. There's like that fine balance in there between accountability and self-acceptance. That's where I want to reside, because that's gentle and self-love, but also knowing that like I can do more, I can be better, and you got this, Josh. Like, go fucking do it. And that actually is self-love in itself as well. And reminding myself that I can do it. Also key. Things like I can do it, everything is figure outable, what others can do, I can do also, those types of beliefs. A little bit too much alcohol. I mean, like, I feel like I'm doing like just enough caffeine and alcohol most days, but I definitely do find myself trying to avoid things with alcohol, because if I do get too crazy, I'm like, oh, we need to drink right now. And if it's at night, it's like better, but it's still, I find myself doing things that I just don't end up getting anything done after, and I would still like to get things done. But if I am getting things done, fucking be my guest, Josh. I mean, is that be your guest or be... How does that go? I'm not sure. Interesting. Not prioritizing what matters the most right now. Things like money tasks. I'm fucking need to figure out my financial situation really bad right now. I might do some EI thing, because I might actually have a case. I might have a case to build. Super find myself like prioritizing money tasks and then letting it slip. I put off things such as interviews, vlog editing, all types of like mental straining tasks, but are worth it to do. I'm just not amazing at prioritization right now, and I'm trying to work on it. Using Notion for jotting down ideas in the sense of like quick jots, if you will, just doesn't fucking work. So like the way that my Notion inbox is set up is just not meant for because you're like new page, blah, blah, blah. It's just a mess. So I started actually right as I was reflecting this, I just created something called like Jotter, and it's literally just gonna be a page dedicated to dragging and dropping into an inbox. It's literally as simple as that. You can move like a text block. Even pages are blocks in Notion. Text equals page as well. In the sense that, how do I describe this? A bullet is a block, a photo is a block, a page is a block, a text block is also a block. They're all existing under the same type of premise. So when you drag a text block in Notion into a database, it immediately becomes a page with that as the title. And I think that might be a hack, which I've discovered today. So we'll see how that goes. Going on social media too much, fuck, it's literally just serving someone else's mission instead of my own. Very silly, not here for it. And yeah, we're thriving right now. Holy shit, time is flying. How is that already 37 minutes? This is the strangest and coolest recording I've ever done with reflections. I'm here for it though. Putting energy into girls who are not putting it back as much. Why? Why would I waste my time on this? This is so fucking silly. So just like straight up just reducing it or cutting it completely. I'm just not around. I'm not down to wait on girls who are just taking too fucking long and are just in their own bullshit. So like, fuck that. Not down. Be smart enough to know what the fuck I offer. Jesus Christ. Holding back on my opinions and partially modifying my opinions to try to work with people's sensitivity. No, it's not the right move, and I haven't done this in the past little bit, but last week for sure I was really struggling with this. It's just stupid. Like, if people are gonna get sensitive, it is literally on them, and it's not helping them to just coddle them or to try to lie to them, which is technically what modifying your opinions are, to just like meet this fucking social acceptance thing or whatever the fuck I might be trying to work on from an ego standpoint, because that's literally what it is. It's ego. And yeah, it's doing them a service if you're telling them the truth, even if you don't like their thing or disagree with them. It's chill. Like, the right people will get it, the wrong people won't. It is what it is. It is what it fucking is. feeling like a fraud with no material source energy medicine and with business. I need to fucking make money. And I don't feel amazing not making money and not supporting myself. So just do the fucking sessions, practice, give things away for free, invest time into getting better at explaining it, detach if people aren't getting it, move on, repeat, etc. It's okay if no one gets it or minimal people get it. In the same way that like when I talked to my dad, he didn't understand the vlog at all. Like I tried to explain what the fuck I am doing with this and why I'm doing it. He didn't understand. But like that is 100% okay, because even if he doesn't understand it, that does not mean it's not valuable for other people. Different strokes for different folks. Phrases like this, it's just literally just about killing perfection, because not everyone needs to understand, not everyone needs to get it, not everyone even needs to get value from it, but the right people need to get value from it. That's fucking key. Okay, let's move on to lessons. What were my biggest lessons? 2 important lessons from Diddy's meditation, which was fucking insane. Sean Combs, I love you for this. I already thought you were cool as fuck. This just put you on another level. And it's on Audible. You can get it for free. Highly recommend. It's so good for winding down at night. Number 1, it is okay to go fast as hell during the day and then give yourself the space, honor yourself to slow down at night, because that is paramount. Because if you don't slow down, you're fucking up your sleep. If you fuck up your sleep, you're fucking up the next day. And then you're going to be like extra caffeinated, and then you'll struggle the next day because you're going to try to go to bed and it just won't work. Take time right now to slow down and give yourself the space to have a great sleep so that you can have a successful following day. Important. Okay, next, the breath out is more important than the breath in. Amazing. I didn't even think about this, but holy fuck, when you properly breathe out, you are just relaxing yourself at such a high level. Speaking of which, forgot to put this in what didn't work. I need to start working on my breaths, because I get so fucking tense and like excited at the same time that I like forget to breathe, and I need to definitely work on breathing in front of cameras. I also struggle with this thing where I just like don't want to make my stomach filled with air and be big, quote unquote. It's some stupid thing that I need to work on, but it's just important because breathing is everything. It's okay to go a little bit softer on tracks when I'm hearing it for the first time with a live review, because I just know I'm not going to love it on the first time. That's not how my brain works. I'm going to like it at best. So it's okay to just like almost not fabricate it, but let myself change the rules a little bit for how I'm going to react, because I know that I'm not going to instantly love it. That's not how I go. It's always a multiple listens at different times, or it takes like a mix or a set in live person. But yeah, it's okay is what I'm trying to tell myself right now. And it's just real, man. It is just fucking real. I do not need any context or transitions if I don't choose. Watching David Dobrik do this, his style is so fucking fast. I was just mind blown how much he packed into one 420 video. It was insane. They're also just such good storytellers. Like, so interesting to watch. Fuck. I can't do that personally. I don't think that's not really my style yet. That could change in the future. But I really do appreciate that they don't have many transitions, and like that inspired me a lot. I don't need to give huge backstories on everything. I can just record. It's fine. And when I say transitions, I'm more so talking about like verbal transitions. Like, oh, we're going to XYZ now. Or like, I just came back from XYZ event or whatever. I don't need to do that. I can just start recording the next message. It's fine. Let people know ahead of time that I am recording. It's so much easier for me knowing that they already know and then can mentally prepare on their own for what is coming. Because if I just randomly show up with a camera, it actually like would freak people out, I think. So I've done a good job of like messaging people ahead of time, calling them, letting them know like, yo, I record now and I just want to make sure that's okay with you, or I can turn off the camera if you're not comfortable. I want to give permission people to opt out because they didn't sign up for this. They did not sign up to be in part of the vlog just by being in my life, even though that's kind of how it goes. But I'll still like to give them the option. It's probably in my best interest to get a fucking mixer. The fucking doubles I'm coming up with right now are just bananas. Like, I'm very impressed with how good I am out the gate with this. Very impressive. So, probably going to get a DTJ 200 or 400, we'll see. Like with, I just probably want to go down record box territory just because I like record box at this point. I wish I had 4 channels. I can't until I get like 1,000. It is what it is. Use FFmpeg instead of handbrake. I can't believe I was never using FFmpeg. I would have made my life so much fucking easier. It's literally just a command line thing. And like, it's mind-blowing how much my process for compressing files and like splitting files in half now has changed. It's crazy. When this is all said and done, we're going to take the good from the old world, if you will, pre-coronavirus, and we're going to take the coronavirus onward world, and we're going to take the good from both of those, combine them together, and create, quote unquote, a new post-coronavirus world. I am so here for it. My dad put this so well when he said this when I was hanging out with him last week, and it's just facts. Like, the world's never going to go back to where it was, but it will evolve and take the good from the existing and the good from the past world, if you will, like, and just mesh it all together. A great example of this: so much more virtual shit is going to go down. So many more virtual meetings, so many more virtual streams, virtual festivals, all this type of shit that can be, there's so much that can be done online without going out, and you just don't need to. And we're going to take the good from that. And then we're also going to do things like, yes, if you want to, fucking go do it in person. Get your coffee in person. Go to a coffee shop if that's what you need to do. Go and hang out at that party. Or if it's not necessary, you could literally just do it virtually. Like, there's just, it'll be a constant adaptation of just a lot of good from both sides, and I'm here for it. Select the music first and let it edit the vlog. Got this from Iris Chen. She is I think former, I don't know if she's still with VaynerMedia or not. It seemed like she was doing her own thing right now, but she might still be with there. But anyway, she was on Team Gary Vee for a bit there, and iconic editor for Daily V, like very well known for that, because everything was like so fucking emotional. And she said that she actually picks a song before she starts the actual editing process, meaning she'll go through the clips first, gather what the fucking vibe is, throw a song towards it, and then from there she starts clipping it all together. This has changed my process so much for fucking editing. It's crazy. It's also just saved me so much more time because I'm gonna be doing it anyways, so why not fucking do it now? Just because someone doesn't understand it does not mean it's not valuable. My dad just did not get the concept of the vlog at all, whereas my mom is like in love with how good these vlogs are coming out. Don't get me wrong, they're just my parents' POVs, and like I get that, but at the same time, it just taught me a lot. Like, yo, one person cannot find something valuable at all, whereas another person can find it completely valuable, and it doesn't speak against one another. It's a completely different experience. And just because my dad doesn't get it, for example, doesn't mean my mom will not get value from it. And like, I found that is applicable to all areas, in that if someone doesn't like your product, it's not necessarily that your product is bad, and it's taking away from other people's values. It's just their experience, and that it might just be bad for them. And it's just, again, a progression of me forever realizing that like, one point of view does not dictate another, and just because something is for someone does not mean it's for another person. We're all so fucking different. We all have very different interests and perspectives and point of views and beliefs and all that jazz that is all baked up into our experiences, and like, it's all going to be different. So just because you get one no does not mean you should stop right there. You should continue and just find more no's to get more yeses. It's really that simple, man. Life is just so much better when you break things down into simple terms. My God. Doing things unconventionally and in different ways right from the get is okay. I was struggling with this a lot because I like things to be done in a certain way, and I almost always find a way to do things differently, just because I feel like if I did things the exact same as everyone else, I would just be basic as fuck and not as high outputting, not as happy, because the world is not generally great at things. So I find that when I have more emotional work and energetic work to be done on this idea of going out on my own and not feeling like ostracized and not feeling like a fraudulent person, if you will, just because I am doing things differently. This got brought up with like editing processes because I do things in a different way than most people, and it could seem like I'm like basic or rookie, but in reality, I'm just doing what I think is going to be most effective for me specifically. And then with typing, I found myself like going a little bit crazy and using a little bit incorrect keys, and like I had like a little bit of shame around that, and again felt like kind of like a rookie. But at the same time, who's to say this might not be a better way? There's something really important there that I haven't fully grasped, but absolutely exists a very, very golden lesson. If you give yourself a block of like 15 to 30 minutes every day, you can get a lot of shit done over time. I find that if I'm going to be not investing a 15 to 30 minute block into something that's going to be progressing me, it's a different type of energy throughout the day, man. I love working on something that over time I'm just going to continuously get better at. With this specific situation is typing. 15 to 30 minutes, I'm literally just sitting there practicing my typing, and every day it gets a little bit easier. It gets a little bit more natural, and then like someday it's gonna be like, oh yeah, like I didn't have someone can say I didn't have time for that. The reality is you do have time for that. You can hack away 15 to 30 minutes every single day, and from there eventually skills are fucking crazily built, or projects are ridiculously progressed on, because it starts building on itself and you get momentum because you're working on it every single day, and then someday you start to see the dividends from your time investment, if you will, and energy investment. But holy fuck, it's just working so golden right now just to allocate time to hacking away at little things like this, because it just does matter. Tell a story through your goals. Actually, just kidding, I'm just gonna drink water real quick because holy fuck, I am ripping right now. But holy Jesus, this is coming out so valuable. Tell a story. Actually, no, breath first is all. That feels so nice. Oh my God. Tell a story through goals in a vlog. Got this from my buddy Zach. He gave me what he called unsolicited feedback. I actually appreciated the feedback though, so don't hold back on that shit, Zach. You're a smart motherfucker. And what he said was like, in my early vlogs, he found that I wasn't doing a great job at telling a clear storyline, in that when you have a clear why behind the mission, if you will, that's essentially what it is. Having a mission set up in the storytelling arc, it just goes back to like, what is that called? Like the hero's journey, if you will. And I wasn't doing a good enough job at like setting the challenge, aka the enemy, the goal, aka the overarching mission, if you will, and why I'm doing the mission, and then like showing how I'm getting there. And he just like highlighted a bunch of things, such as I need to be outlining the goal, showing the checkpoints, the milestones, the journey of getting there, and it like can take longer than a week, but it's very important to set those frameworks up, because that is what a good story is. And what I'm essentially doing in vlogging is just telling a weekly story. So if I want to make my content more interesting, what I have to do is introduce very clear narratives like this. Be like, hey, I'm doing this. This is why I'm doing this. Here's how I'm doing this. Here's what I'm doing to get there, type of thing. And just like keep checking in and showing the progress to getting there. That is the ultimate narrative, if you will. And I'm going to face my challenges, setbacks and stuff like that, show that as well. And then eventually I hit XYZ destination, if you will, throughout the journey. And then we celebrate, except I've been celebrating the entire time because it's the process that's the win. And that is essentially what a story is. And I appreciate Zach reminding me of that, because it's absolute facts. Also in the process, we were talking about like how I was basically making content about making content, which is facts. I like to narrate, and like what I got from that though is it was not actually about content per se. What it's more so about is teaching people creative process, whether that's because like they can look at that one thing, and what I do within my stories and examples, I try to at least, is take a specific example and then blow it up into the macro so you can apply it to whatever area of life you're looking for. In this case, a creative lesson with brainstorming, I was doing it for content shit, but he said he related to it in that he was doing it with business stuff, and I'm like, that's exactly it. And then in addition to creative process as well, it's also about like mindset process. My goal is to really just highlight as many things you can take away as possible as I'm going through said experience, through like anecdotes, stories, summaries of my day, what I'm going through. Just, I'm okay with meta narrating as well, because like, again, it's literally just about like the underlying pattern, the underlying lesson that you can take away from that, the process that you can apply, the belief that you can put in your brain, the thought that you can think, that type of stuff. I fucking really want to get better at posting positive messages on my social media and like really fucking going to town on that. Here's the thing, like right now I find myself not posting basically anything on social media because I'm so fucking behind with macro content that I don't want to focus on micro content just yet. But seeing people like at Steven on Instagram, holy fuck, man. Like that guy's content is basically all Twitter posts, and I was just like mind blown that he could have such a successful Instagram account with basically just posting tweets all day. It's amazing. So that type of shit, I just want to work on it, because I just have a ton of resistance to doing it. Again, it's like, who the fuck is this guy? Why does he think he can say this shit? All types of shit like that. But I also really want to just like put out content, have a positive impact, go deeper with people who are wanting to go deeper. And then if they really want to go deep, I'd start monetizing with things like energy work, and then also have fun things on the side, like merch with like mugs and clothes, other forms of access, maybe some sponsorships down the road, stuff like this. And sponsorships being very key, because it would have to be something I believe in and that I would actually use. Very important to me. Has to remain authentic and aligned with who the fuck I'm actually down to be. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've realized I've wanted to do in the past little week. That would be a very fun life for me. And a very like related unlock was that I just might not be built for like traditional entrepreneurship. Or maybe I am and I just don't know yet, and I have some resistance to clear and shit like that. But just looking at like my resistance is just, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I just feel like a fucking fraud with the idea of traditionally running a business or a company. I'm so interested in that as well. But equally, I'm so fucking motivated by impact and winning and all this type of shit. So I don't fucking know. What I do know is there's many ways to do entrepreneurship, and it doesn't necessarily mean that just because one way doesn't work for me for entrepreneurship doesn't mean I'm necessarily not an entrepreneur. It's forever this like thing I'm working on. I can put out a vlog a week. Such an unlock here. Such a fucking unlock. Like literally the biggest takeaway I got from this was like, if you do simple tasks now to make it easier on yourself later, you can absolutely pull off an entire weekly vlog edited from beginning to finish, like fucking uploaded in a single day. Very possible. Very fucking possible. Things like keeping track of the moods, setting up tasks in the global database that's linked to the piece of content that I'm working on. Stuff like that, man. If you follow the fucking process and keep it simple, you are, I think, guaranteed to pull it off. But we'll see how that goes when I actually truly apply that. So it is okay to sell if you're doing it from a good place. I see Gary selling all the fucking time right now. It actually fires me the fuck up because he's such a G with this shit. And seeing the guy who always preaches about like, whoever can hold your breath the longest wins, and him actually like being okay with selling because he believes in something and in the mission behind it and all that shit gets me excited, because it tells me that I can sell as well, which is, I feel like why I even watch Gary, because it's just him giving me permission about things that I'm too scared to give myself permission to do. Google Drive can double as a backup system. This literally saved my life this week. I set up in a way where I push 007, like the process 007 to 0014, all of the clips, probably like 300 gigabytes. I threw it to Google Drive and like just saved my fucking life, because I have 2 terabytes on Google Drive currently. So this is fucking godsend. So that was a huge lesson for me, because I didn't even think about putting it in the cloud for whatever reason. Always put it on Google Photos, but I had it on my desktop always, from like basically ever since I started content. And it's only in this week, like 2.5 years later, where I decide, hey, let's put it on the cloud to save storage. I have no fucking idea what I was doing for that. So silly. Speaking of which, iCloud. I didn't realize that there was like an auto downloader system, so I was literally just going through iCloud.com and like selecting them all, downloading them, etc. But now I've started using this like automatic downloader that comes with Windows, and it doesn't come with Windows, you have to download it. But it streamlines the process of downloading it. So literally all I have to do now is just drag and drop the files that were part of XYZ Day into their vlog folder, if you will, and like I'm thriving out here. It's working incredibly well. The magnificent part about this, by the way, is this date created thing. Media creation date is fucking awesome, except it doesn't work great with certain videos. But with this, as soon as it gets uploaded to my cloud, it's immediately downloaded here. So the file is created and boom. I didn't even realize that until I just said it, but holy fuck, that's a game changer. It's funny that like I had two cognitions throughout this reflection where I just hadn't considered it before I actually like verbalized it. What challenges did I experience? Definitely concerned with money. Like I might apply for EI and build a case around that because I do have shit I could use. And yeah, that tax return though, holy fuck, that saved my life. A lot of doubt with entrepreneurship, specifically my entrepreneurial capabilities and if I can pull it off or not. I see entrepreneurship and I'm just like, I see people pulling it off and I'm just like, I feel like just immediately like a fraud. That's tough for me. I might not actually do energetic work as a business. I'm not sure what the fuck I'm down to do right now. I think I'll probably forever do energetic work because it's just so important to my existence and to my soul's evolution and to other souls' evolution if you're down for that. But I don't know. It means so much to me that it's almost like hard to see clearly at times. Or it just means I have to work on that specific pattern so I can work on it elsewhere, if that makes sense. Because wherever I go, I'm bringing that specific pattern with me. If I care too much about something, I can't work on it type of thing. So that would be something that I probably should just work on instead of quitting on the idea of energy work as a business. And realistically, I'm not going to probably quit on energy work as a business, but it's definitely crossed my mind. I just don't know what my next move is right now, honestly. Struggling to listen to people on things. Like, I'm just not great at listening to people give me advice just because, like, I don't know. I don't want to listen to people. I'd rather listen to just source. It's very disinteresting to me. So much resistance around the idea of calling CIBC because I just feel like I don't have any room to negotiate. That's the challenge with like taking responsibility. I feel like I have zero room to negotiate on things, such as like credit card debt. Like I fucked up. It's not the bank's fault. So like, why would I negotiate that? I don't know. It's tough. Resistance to saying sexual stuff with girls. It's just like there's something to do with not wanting to make them uncomfortable if they're not down, paired with I don't fucking know sometimes if girls are not down until they say they're specifically down. So that's tough for me. But there's also a part of me that doesn't want the rejection, but I definitely enjoy like back and forth flirting. However, I'm just so down to be direct. It's not even funny. Fuck, I loved being direct. There's also another part of this where it's like, I don't want to push too far and just make them uncomfortable. And equally, I don't want to like kill it just because I say like one thing and like, I don't know. It's tough for me for sure. So judgmental of myself in the past little bit about like philosophy and content where it actually matters. Like my great dilemma right now is I've got an angel on my shoulder we've got like impactful content, positivity, optimism, philosophy, all this type of shit. And then I've got a devil on my shoulder with dubstep reactions. And it's so fucking funny because I never thought for a second I'd be like putting down dubstep reactions in my content strategy, but it's absolutely part of things at this point. And it makes me laugh because, yeah, it's not meaningful content in the least, but people like it and they're enjoying the laughs that come with it and like appreciating how hard I go, all that shit. So it's interesting, man. But I should not be judgmental of myself for meaningful content, even if I'm early on in my journey, because it just does matter, and time will fucking tell if I'm correct or not. I will be. My family wanting me to get a job, specifically my dad's side, I'm just not down. I just can't do it right now, I don't think. I touched on this earlier, but this idea of like trying to protect other people's sensitivities and emotions and diluting, like swaying my opinion in a way where it doesn't fuck with them too much, and like it's fucking killing me at times. I literally had a dream around this, and it was just like basically a nightmare at that point. It was just so bad. So I just need to work on be more okay with disappointing people, and giving disapproval if I actually feel like it's the right thing to say. God, I wish people weren't so fucking sensitive. This is not about any specific person, but just like the world in general. People are so fucking sensitive, it drives me mental. I felt very like bored of talking to people in general. Like I felt like most people were sucking my energy, except like one specific person was basically the only one that I felt like wasn't sucking my energy. So shout out to you. And yeah, it sucks. But I feel a lot better now, but like before I was just like, oh, very, very exhausted. Fear of going beyond vanilla. Real as fuck. I just was really struggling with the idea of disapproval, judgment, etc. And I was really taking it on and imagining it and really letting it affect me. And it fucking kills my energy when I do. Jesus Christ. Feeling like I am balding every time I feel like a tingle on my head and stuff like that. Like my scalp is at times definitely irritated, and I'm just scared I'm losing my hair each time I touch it. It's fucking less this week for that, more last week, but right now the tingling for sure. Like if I feel like my head tingling too much, I'm like, please don't tell me, because I just don't want to fucking lose my hair. And equally, I feel like I'd rock whatever the fuck I get put with. Tons of resistance to making content at times, even micro content as well. Just like, I don't know, I was not aligned with micro content or long form content earlier in this week. Content. Fucking Jesus Christ. What is this episode, I swear? My friend absolutely blew up on me. That really sucked. Said really dark shit at times too. I was like, what the fuck? I was not expecting that. I had no fucking ill intent at all, but it was just like things just got too personal, too fast. Didn't mean to fuck with him at all. I was literally just making a joke, and then it just turned into a fucking huge situation. But like I was really just grateful how he handled it after. And certain people having my back throughout that, and yeah. But I wasn't expecting him to come to terms so easily, and I'm grateful that I gave him space, and then he worked through it to a degree where we both apologized and like went through it, and I'm pleased at how it resolved. Going back to what I was saying more about like insecurity around content / resistance around content, it's also related to reflections, and like I just don't know if I should continue this series right now. This episode makes me want to continue it for sure, but I wonder if I should make it private, if I should move it to monthly, what exactly I should do right now, because it's just a lot of long form content, which I already have in my vlog. However, it is very different, but I just don't know if it's as valuable as I would like to think it is. So yeah, and I don't know how this bakes into my content strategy going forward, but I'm definitely considering removing it right now. Oh, I had this like dead vision of a plant, if you will. So like I looked in my mind and I was thinking about Moxey energetics, and then there was this like dead plant, and then I was like, whoa, this is basically like telling me that Moxey energetics is like dead or something like that. And I was like, okay, let's do a session on it and see what I see after. And I did a session on it, Moxey energetics being the witness, if you will. And like after that, it was so cool, because what I saw after and like felt right was this newly planted plant, like a baby plant, if you will. And it was just like telling me that, okay, we're good now. It's regrowing. It's starting over. We're starting fresh. And I thought that was fucking gangster. So I have no fucking idea if that was a quote unquote challenge, but it was just a cool insight. And like I like to save challenges for my weird ass fucking things I'm gonna discuss. Struggling with the idea of like working out right now, in the sense that I'm fucking am eating like the most random things, which are not necessarily very high protein, and like right now I feel like I am rationalizing laziness because I want to move my workouts to 1 or 2 a week. I'm not feeling it right now in the same way. And because I'm not giving myself the proper nutrients, so it almost feels like I'm just wasting my fucking time if I properly work out. So it's like, because that was like what P90X was for me. When I did P90X three times, I did not have the proper nutrition. I was not eating enough, not enough protein as well. And then because of that, I did not achieve anywhere close to what I could have if I was. That's important. So yeah, I'm not cutting, I'm not bulking, I literally wrote down, I am just fucking vibing, bro. I fucking love that. I fucking love it. Oh god. Incredibly like dying on the inside when I don't have a quick way of jotting things down. I'm hoping this jotter thing works, but also like I've been experimenting with other notes things because I actually feel like physical pain when I need to write something down, but I can't do it fast. I cannot wait for voice technology for this exact reason. I have a million things in my brain and I just want to capture it and come back to it at a later time. Ideally, it's already sorted for me. Like, Notion on voice is going to be like the greatest thing of all time. I just cannot fucking wait. So excited. I'm definitely triggered when people block me. I'll just say that. Especially when there's no good reason. Resistance to putting out messages because people might think I'm like subtweeting them or like indirectly adding them. And that's not the fucking goal. Like, people need to fucking wrap their head around. This has happened so much in the past, it's just annoying. Like, understand that I go through situations and experiences, and then I share an anonymous point of view, aka a lesson, an insight, an idea that someone else could take, because this is what the fuck I do with my content, man. It's just annoying that people don't get this by now. Why would I go through something and not talk about it if that's what my entire brand is based off of? Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I definitely appreciate where people are coming from, but like, no one knows what the fuck I'm actually talking about unless they like really know, and if they do, who fucking cares? Like, just get your ego out of the way. Like, my goal is not to cause harm with these types of like subtweets, if you will. It's literally just to highlight some sort of POV or perspective that someone else that is reading that can leave that story and be like, wow, that's interesting. Like, plant a seed, if you will, and then hopefully that germinates into something positive down the road. That's what I'm doing here. Fucking everyone can stop with this bullshit around, oh, he's subtweeting. It's just stupid as fuck, to be quite frank. Like, y'all don't know what the fuck I'm up to if you think that's what I'm doing. And you also don't get my intent if that's what you think I'm doing as well. Where did I grow the most? Detecting doubles. Jesus. My ear is getting so much more trained to find doubles. Equally, I'm still co-creating with source because like, I'm not like sitting there like, oh, this would go great with this. It's more like the idea is just fed to me and I'm like, cool, let's try it, everything. I'm loving it. Feels so fucking good. Especially like listening to phase 1, like his Lost Lands mix for 2019. His set at Lost Lands 2019 was just so good with doubles, and it gave me so many random ideas. And then during that, I was hearing songs, and then I would write it down and then apply it later, and I got like 2 gems out of it. My god, like Daw versus like I think the G-Rex remix of Insanity, or whatever the fuck the remix is of. I just know it's the G-Rex remix on phase 1's remix album, and the other one was like The Devil versus Ashes by Code Pandorum or something like that, or We Are the Free Code I think it was that. I think it's weird. Something like that. Anyways, those doubles came out so fucking well, and I was just so pleased, and it literally just came from listening to a set and then being fed the ideas at the same time. Like, oh, like it's almost like I can start to hear the pattern and be like, like I could see how this would work, everything. It's really fucking sick. Disciplining myself daily to sit down and actually properly train myself to type. What I consider to be the most like growth inducing aspect of this is just that I sat down to do something like basic every day and then worked on it, hacked bit by bit. And even though it's not a huge priority by any means, it's something that I need to do, and it was gonna happen at some point, so why the fuck not in quarantine? And I just like that I'm actually making this happen, regardless of if I feel like doing it or not. I say that like I didn't cop out 2 days this week, but fuck it. It is what it is. Detachment around cutting clips. But I just found myself like rambling so fucking much as I was editing the end of vlog 3, and holy shit, man. It's just amazing how much I ramble. I ramble in this as well. Like it is what it is. I do ramble sometimes, but it is so important that I work on my detachment around cutting clips, because I've historically had a lot of resistance around doing so, and it's not serving me anymore. You'll find that like probably the process 005, probably 006 is where things really start to change with my editing process, because I'm just not down to include duplicates anymore of things I'm saying twice in a week. I'm not down to hear me talk about random ass shit. I want it to serve the mission like I was talking about earlier. I also am okay with cutting things if it's like silly and I run out of time, and guess what? I can re-record it. This vlog is gonna go on for a long fucking time, and throughout that time I will have ample opportunity to re-record a segment that I need to cut for whatever reason, or just doesn't fit the vibe of the vlog. That's totally chill. Basically, the whole thing around this is there is so much inessential shit that just does not need to say, and if it's not serving the fucking storyline, cut that shit. That's even tough for me to say right now, but it's getting better, so much better. And I just also just have basically no interest in recording just a bunch of like gibberish and randomness right now. I want it to be very online with what the fuck I'm trying to do. Whatever that NIMSAM session was with mom, that was crazy, and I grew so much from it. I don't know, whatever like dark cloud was over me for a couple of days there, where I was just struggling with like health, happiness, all that shit, but good lord, I feel like a completely different person, and like this reflection is a good testament to that, because you can see that I'm like literally on cloud 9 through this fucking reflection. I'm crushing. I'm enjoying. My belief and perspective that I can get an entire vlog done within a day. That was just like not possible to me a week ago. Even though I have done a little bit of journaling around it before, but just this week was just something special. I found that like my belief in my capability, as well as like the possibility, just seems so real now, and what came from that was just amazing. Like the outputs, the processes, the ideas, all of it is so damn useful to me. Overall, this doesn't apply to just vlogs. It just showed me how much content I can put out in a single day and actually make that happen. I can't go back now. It's an elastic. Like I'm stretched now. I can see that there is so much more that I could be doing, and so much more impact that I can be having. And it's paramount, because I just need to get shit done at such a higher rate right now. So key to cashing out. Follow the fucking systems. Keep it simple. You can do it, Josh. What am I obsessed with right now? The idea of getting a mixer. I want it so fucking bad. I am chopping like a motherfucker on my laptop, and I'm actually doing really well, but like I can't keep up like this forever. Like I need to have some sort of mixer. I wanted a DDJ 1000 so fucking bad, but I'll probably just do the 2000 or 200 instead, realistically, or 400 if I really want to break the bank. The Honor Yourself meditation by Sean Combs. I fucking love this. I was literally dying of laughter when I did this for the first time, because I just wasn't expecting some of the things he said. Things like, that's cool, or like, put yourself in a cocoon if that's your thing. I'm like, what am I listening to right now, and why has this not been in my life before? Because it's just amazing. So fucking good. Acquiring old songs that I wasn't able to DJ with at the time. Holy fuck. I downloaded 200 songs in the past like 2 days, and it just comes from the fact that like there's so many gems in the past that I just miss, and I want to DJ with, and it'd be fun to add to my mixes and my sets. Things like Rocket Fuel, or like, what's another good one? Bang Your Head by Barely Alive, or the fucking other 10 millions, like some old Subtronic songs, some old like Spaghetti songs. There's just so many good fucking songs in the past, and I don't want to only have modern mixes. I want to have like throwbacks to songs I fucking love as well. Speaking of which, showed me how much my music taste has changed as I did this. I'm like, Jesus, I don't even like this song anymore, for more songs than I was expecting. Bri and I's humor. We are so funny. My God. I like just live for how we constantly are fucking with people and just like trolling, if you will. And we're so good at callback humor with our inside jokes, and like it just kills me. I fucking love it. The idea of putting out micro content, I want it so fucking bad right now. I also want to do things like selling mugs and shirts with designs I've created. I'm so fucking with this idea right now. Like, that would be gangster. And I feel like that'd be completely aligned with like the content missions and all that jazz. New mugs with messages that I create. I really want a new mug right now. I love my F mug, but I want other things right now. Specifically, one with messages that I craft up. Love. Also, alternatively, a W mug. I also want a new chair. Oh my god, I want a new desk as well. And I really want to fucking catch up on content. Yeah, I would also just be down to just like live in an area. This is not gonna happen anytime soon, I don't think, but I'm so down to like have my own apartment. Oh, that'd be so nice. I want to go on Tinder and just fly. I also just really want to be caught up on content and a successful entrepreneur and so many things. Oh, and the letter W. I am using this everywhere right now. I use it as like my default response anytime something's good. It's just like that. Instead of that's cool, it's like W, or just if something awesome happened, W. W obviously means win, in case you don't know that. It's amazing. Okay, that was my favorite reflection I've ever fucking recorded. I'm so glad it was for Reflections 80. This was a kick-ass episode. I'm very pleased with how that came out. I hope that these are coming out very fucking well. If they are, let me know, because I don't fucking know at this point. And I would like them to be, and I would also like to know, like, how can I make them better, if I can? If you have any ideas for me and how I can make them better, I'm down to fucking hear them right now. I'm not always down to hear ideas, but especially if you just like are throwing at ideas about solving a problem. But in this moment, I'm open right now and receptive. So I would like to hear that. Now, if you got enough value from this, I would love if you could subscribe so you don't miss any content in the future. I also have a podcast that you can subscribe to, which is a lot of this in audio form if that's easier for you to consume. That'd be great as well. It's called Passion and Purpose with Josh Moxey. Link will be in the description. I would also love if you could like this video, comment what your biggest takeaway was or what your favorite part was. And I appreciate you so fucking much for watching and listening. I hope this was a valuable hangout. I hope this was a productive time. I hope you left this with things you can apply in your own life. And I hope you experiment. I hope you treat life as a long-term journey with experiments throughout the way. And hope you fucking dominate your existence. Appreciate you. Bye.